Hi, I'm Chris Campbell of Voraktee Gaming.
And I'm Josh Hamano of Clever Foxes. We're here today in Tempe Studios, Tempe, Arizona, for an exciting episode of Prime Photographer.
That's right, the show where we pit two photography experts against each other. Each episode its own individual challenge, seeing who can come out as top photog.
Welcome to Prime Photographer, a challenge show pitting our prime photographers against other photographers. Meet our three prime photographers, Alex Davis, Cortex Studios, Tony Julius Photography, and Sam Mort of Mort Productions, taking on your challenges and your photographers.
All the edits are in, and we have the judges assembled after having a hearty meal because we've been here forever. But we're going to have Anya come on stage now and take a look at the final products from both of our photo contestants. Come on, Anya. The laptop here, and here you are.
Oh my god.
Where are the tears?
You don't, I wasn't even joking. I am legitimately tearing up right now.
She said she was going to tear up when she sees them. These are beautiful, both of the shots. What do you think, just in general?
I love them. They're so pretty. Oh my gosh.
You guys can see?
Gorgeous. You guys outdid yourselves.
This is Deegan's final product of our lovely model, Anya. Deegan, what were you thinking when you did this shot, when this is your final product?
So from the get-go, I definitely knew that I wanted it to be more out of my comfort zone, a little bit more softer, pretty light. When I saw the dress, I was really intrigued by the dress, but I still was like, this is the light that I want to go for. So I'm still going to do it and see how it goes. I'll worry about the dress later. So I was like, let's focus on her eyes. So I was like, she's got blue eyes. I was like, we're going to make this work really well. It's gothy, and I wanted her to have the very goth Disney princess feel. When I saw her walk out, I was like, oh man, this is like when Wednesday Addams grows up into the Disney Channel. This is what we have right now. So I wanted to portray that in more of a classical way.
Okay. Is there anything else that you do differently?
If I had more time, I would like to play with the second lighting setup a little bit more to really like capture the dress, but I knew that this was the go-to lighting setup that I wanted to do and was most important to me.
All right, and overall, how do you feel about the final product?
I love it. I can't wait to put it on my website.
Perfect. Now the judges are going to critique the photo. Tony, what do you think about this guy? This guy hasn't the last.
That looks really pretty.
So the things I like the composition, everything in the lighting and everything draws you to her face. So you get pulled around the scene, you get to see her beauty, the dress a little bit, but everything brings you right back to her face. The picture's nice and sharp, her eyes pop beautifully, you can see the contours on her face and body, and the crown really pops. I love it.
Is there anything you think could have been better on this shot?
The only thing I see is a little bit of the coloring down where it's darker is a little off to me. It doesn't match the upper part, but other than that, it looks really good.
Great. Tori, our expert makeup artist, what do you think about this shot that Deegan did?
I really like the lighting on the face. It really highlights the makeup very well and her blue eyes. I like that the crown is also accentuated. It's shiny. Things that I would say I would change would be probably the lighting on the hands and a little bit lower where it's darker. I agree with what Tony said with the color is a little bit different in her chest area and the hands. But overall, I'm in love with it.
Wonderful. Now we're going to flip it over to Anya. Anya, what do you think about the shot of yourself?
It's really weird to talk about a picture of yourself. Okay, so I really like it, and I see what you guys are talking about with the lighting difference, but it actually really reminds me of really like old school photography when they would do like I was saying earlier with like the silver screen. It's very Morticia Addams. It's very much like the central focus is across the eyes, which of all of my body parts, I love my eyes the most. So I really appreciate that. Like they look gorgeous in this picture. They're so clear. And my critiques are more so with myself than with the actual photography, though I would have loved to have seen you play more with the background. I think that while you technically did the challenge, I think that the spirit of it got a little lost. But the photo is just beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Well, thank you, Anya. Look at this one. Does everyone else get to see it? Alright, that's good. Thank you. Thank you, Tori. Appreciate that. Alright. Personally, I am the...
We don't want to go home, I guess.
Personally, I'm the least technical expert here, but I have been in the cosplay community for a very long time. I've done many cosplays, and I've done amateur photography. I've been in the community for a very long time, and I've seen a lot of photos. This is definitely a very great shot of the subject, Anya. She did a great job. You were great.
Was she great?
She was great. She was amazing.
Super great.
She was super great.
Faces are super
great.
Full of protein. What?
I'm going with the same vein as Anya did, and part of this challenge was the background as well. And it is definitely one strategy to just paint the entire thing black. And obviously, you did what you set out to do. Your photography ability definitely shows in this picture. But I would have liked to see the background kind of help bring more character and more glamour to the shot myself. Now we have Alex's shot here. Definitely a different take of the same exact beautiful model. Tony, what do you think about this shot?
Let's see. The same thing. I love the composition. Everything brings you back to the model's face. This one highlights the background and the dress. There's even kind of a halo around her head. She's a little hot on the face, and there's a little more contrast on her arms than I would typically like. But as a whole, it really works. It shows Alex's style, and it highlights everything that the competition wanted. It was the dress, the makeup, the hair, and the background. So I really love it.
Great. Alright. Tori, what do you think of this shot?
I think Alex did a great job with capturing the full body image. I love that he still captured the makeup and the hair. And I liked the way that he was positioning her the whole time. He was really trying to highlight everything. The only thing I would change about it, I think, would be some of the lighting. There's a little bit too much of a contrast with her arms. But overall, I love this shot too. There were two completely different shots, but they both did amazing.
Thank you, Tori. Anya.
Again, it's very weird to talk about yourself, but I love this shot. I actually really like the contrast. I do. I think it kind of makes me stand out from the background a little more. Though I love the background because it really feels kind of like woods at night. Like that's totally the feeling that I get from it is like in the forest, and it makes me feel like a princess. But I love that you got a shot of the full dress, and the color of it looks so good. With the background and everything. And like he said, there's this halo effect going on with, I know you're wanting it to be a moon, but it really does just look like this awesome dark halo. It's just so beautiful. Both of these shots. You guys are both insanely talented. So, I love it.
Thanks for your input, Anya.
I'm so helpful.
Yeah, it's not you, so I can take a look at it.
Yep.
Personally, I love that this one focuses more on the dress that Anya was wearing because there's so much there for her to show off, and because it's a huge dress, and just framing the face. Both shots are great. I love that, but just seeing the grunge background kind of contrasting with the elegance and the beauty of our model and her dress is something that is really special to me, and I very much appreciate the fact that you guys worked, you and both of your assistant, especially your assistant, worked together to bring a background to life that really matches well with what's going on. Much like how they said, I'm not 100% sold on the lighting of her, but I do think that it did capture the texture in her dress very well. So now we're going to send you both out, and then we're going to talk amongst ourselves and judge who out of these two wonderful photographs is the best. Thanks, guys.
I'll set number personally, like, I get what they're trying to say about the background thing with Anya and Chris, but to me, like, if you really look at my image, you can see the texture in the background still. But I do think that you definitely utilize the challenge a bit more. But since I came from doing something very similar in the past, I was like, I don't want to do this again. I want it to be focused on the subject and not entirely on like what the challenge was. So like I did miss that point, but I still think my image is pretty strong, as is yours.
No, yeah, I really liked your image a lot. Like, it's really pretty, and it really brought a lot of focus to the face, and it was sharp. And I mean, it was on point with the lighting. And I did focus a lot on the background and the dress, but I can't admit that I did lose that face and the kind of the upper body. I kind of lit it very evenly, and I kind of lost that in the background. So, I mean, I honestly think that the judges have their work cut out for them, because
I agree.
When they look at yours, like, there's the face, there's the model, there's the makeup, there's the beauty. And when they look at mine, they're like, there's the dress, there's the background. And, you know, we put our two images together, right? So I think that I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I think either one of us deserve to win, honestly.
Yeah, I like yours. Like I said, it gives me a very circusy vibe, which I really do enjoy that about it. I don't even mind the lighting, because to me, like, when I look at the image, everything about it is intentional. And it's like, that's a very Alex photo. So like, I don't even critique the light being super harsh, because like, I know that that's what you're going for.
Right.
And it's like, you take it or leave it.
Right.
There's really no critiquing it. And it's like, if you wanted that style, you wanted that style. Just like I wanted mine to focus heavily on the beauty of it, so I didn't give a damn about the background. I was like, if I were to put your background in my image, it would look like shit.
Right.
My whole image would have been destroyed having something distracting in the background.
It's the same with that plain black background. I don't think it's gonna.
It wouldn't have been distracting.
It wouldn't.
Your lighting would look like shit.
Yeah.
The background was plain.
It would have told the story that I was going for, and that's the thing, is you're telling the story too. Like, it's two different stories.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But like yours isn't even high fashion. Yours is more like a concept photo versus mine is a beauty photo.
I would agree with that 100%.
Like, I didn't know how to change the modifiers. They weren't my lights. So I was like, okay. I'm like, it's not my equipment too, so like, I don't want to try to break anything. So I'm like, hey Sam, can you just like do this?
It ended up being a very big team effort. This was a
nice.
really cool thing to do, and I can't wait to see the other. I'm glad you challenged me first. I was very, very happy to be
I was like, I gotta fucking challenge Alex first. I was like, he's the first one that I gotta do this with, because I was like, I talk with him. We are very similar people, and it's not gonna be like, it's a competition, but it's not. You know, like, it's fun, and I think that's the most important part of this. I mean, I still hate everyone, but I guess I'll throw a little bit of.
I mean, I guess. Well, we're gonna get beer tomorrow, right?
Yes. At 11 in the morning.
11 in the morning, because that's how we go.
Now that the photographers are out of the room, judges, what do you really think about these photos?
I still love them. I do adore both of them. I do see some of the issues in both photos. There is some coloring issues, like in DM. I think some of it is my own fault. I think some of the hand placement is a little awkward to me. I think that there might have been a better photo that could have been chosen, but I do love what she was able to do with the face. And I think the eyes look just amazing in the picture.
And now on that, there's a lot that goes into, because they chose out of a handful of shots they did.
And they only got 20 minutes to edit.
Yeah.
So considering they only had 20 minutes to shoot and 20 minutes to edit, I cannot believe the quality. Like, I'm blown away.
These are very good for the small amount of time that they had to take and edit. And with that said, we wanted them to be in the hot seat for this,
Oh yeah,
right?
I think they both did quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, certainly. But with that said, you know, at the same time, even if you felt like you did something wrong, it's still on the photographer.
Absolutely.
Because they should have exactly, precisely. Because you give your background.
That was one of my minor complaints when it came to Deegan versus Alex. Deegan was really good at Alex was really good at directing. Deegan, she kind of let me do my own thing. She gave me ideas of what she wanted, and then just kind of.
But you can see just by looking at the photos, Deegan was looking for something very subtle,
very specific,
and Alex was looking for something bold and making a statement. So the way she posed you was more, she wanted the emotional look, which is very subtle and kind of comes through with you going through emotions, but he wanted to bend and contort your body to show it.
He definitely went to the high fashion editorial, whereas hers are very classic.
I like how Alex used the background and embraced, like you were saying earlier, the spirit of the competition. He definitely followed direction on that. Deegan's looks like a black background, but I do like the lighting in Deegan's photo better than I like the lighting in Alex's. Just overall. So they're both so different, it's hard to compare.
Now,
it really is hard.
The lighting on Alex's, the one thing I would give the benefit is the dress looks gorgeous, the background looks amazing, it looks better in this photo than it is in person by far.
Oh yeah.
So he got 90% of what's in that photo, the lighting looks amazing.
I think with the retouching that photo.
Yes, maybe the retouching.
I am very olive toned, and that comes out really heavily in certain lights. And I think that unfortunately he did manage to exaggerate that color a little bit, but I think it's still.
I mean, as a makeup artist, though, like yellow, you want to stray away from yellow.
Now, and the other note I have on Alex is look at your right arm pose. If he had moved the arm back away from you a little bit and stretched it up just a little bit more, it wouldn't have as much contrast as it does now.
Yeah.
So.
And which one do you think fulfilled the essence of this episode, of that glamour shot, of that high fashion?
Well, specifically, the competition was about not only capturing a good picture, but it was making your own background. And I think that Alex absolutely took the cake on that one. I think that he not only made a background, he made a very creative one. If you had just looked at it, just hanging out there, it didn't look like much, but in the photo, it looks it's perfect. Like, it looks so much better in the photo.
Now, my comments on that is, Deegan went the safe route, she went something dark and solid. Alex, whose reaction to the challenge was almost fear, used his assistant extremely well, and he embraced what she did, and he rolled with it very well, and by the time he was partway through painting it, he was full of it. And that was very true.
It's so busy.
He embraced the challenge that he just,
it could have, but it didn't.
It didn't go wrong at all. It looked beautiful, but it could have gone.
There was definitely some worry seeing him paint.
I admit that when I was watching him work, I was sitting there and thinking, how's this really going to go? And I am very impressed on how he managed to make this come out with you posing in front of it, and it definitely shows the teamwork between him and Chrissy. And with Deegan and Van, they, like you said, they definitely went the safe route. And there wasn't, much of a, we need to do this black, and that's it, right? That's all the prep work that they did through this. And I guess
even if they had tossed in like another color and just made like a mottled kind of watercolor background.
Yeah, while Deegan was painting it, I was thinking, okay, I like the black. She did shoot some where her feathered edge was there in the frame. Yeah. She could have also thrown light accents of the red because she did see the dress. She could have thrown that in there like Alex did, and it would have added to the image.
I think these are both strong images in their own right, but personally, I think Alex fulfilled the essence of what this is, what we were doing.
I agree. I think that we could nitpick these images apart for days and not come up with a decision. But I think that clearly one of these photos embraced the challenge more than the other.
All
I
right.
agree with that. Yes.
Any other thoughts, Tori?
I agree.
Wonderful. I think I've heard all I need to. Let's bring the contestants back in. All right, guys, thanks for coming back. We've made our final decision. I'm going to pass it off to Anya for the last word.
So there was a pretty heavy deliberation. Both of these photos were incredible, and they each had their strengths and they each had their weaknesses. But ultimately, it came down to not only who had the best photo, but who embraced the spirit of the competition the best. So, Alex, you are our winner.
Good job, Alex. I gotta say, you had a lot of fear at first, and you didn't have a lot of words, but you definitely let the photo speak for itself.
That's how it should be.
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
It's very impressive, and your personal styles do show up. You know, you didn't compromise on that, and I appreciate that, and I respect that.
And I want to thank you for choosing me, because this was a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was. And like Tony said about the background, like there was a couple other images that I really, really loved that like showcased the edges of the background where it was like very gritty and a little bit more exciting, but without having like to use Photoshop, I'm like not going to compromise the model just to have the background. Like it's not worth it to me. I'd rather lose a challenge than to make someone unhappy with the way their body looks. You do something that's not your fault.
I think that you both, for the fact that you couldn't use Photoshop, you guys produced amazing, amazing photos.
Yeah, I like them both. Like I said, I feel like Alex's is very circusy, and that's what I like about it. It feels like he got the background from like a haunted house, and that's what I appreciate about it. And even though a couple of the judges said they don't like the contrastiness of her arm, like I feel like that is what makes it Alex's photo. Because when I look at Alex's photo, like he doesn't do like super technical light work. He does in your face. I'm Alex from Vortex Studios, and this is my fucking life. So take it or leave it.
I can't deny it.
You're not wrong.
I can't deny that at all.
So that's why, like, when I see it, I'm just like, okay, you use the clarity slider. I like it.
Love that
And
flyer.
you got the texture of the dress and everything, and I appreciate it. Like, I couldn't lose to a better photo.
Look at that. Look at
Guys.
Deegan and Van and Alex and Chrissy, I'd like to thank both of you for taking on this challenge with us today. And Tony, Anya, Tori, thank you so much for judging with me. I really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you for having
Of
us.
course. And all you guys out there, comment and let us know which photo would you pick, and what kind of challenge would you like to see in the future.
I'm sassy.
It's what I do. I'm 90% sass.